welcome to another session of conversation with Analytica Anacon India and India Lab Expo. And we have with us Dr. Archana Bahuguna, who is the pharma industry veteran with a career spanning over 2 decades in leadership roles in various leading pharma companies. She has extensive global experience in leading analytical R&D and quality control teams, supporting diverse portfolios of NCEs and generics for phase 1 and 3 development and commercialization of drug substances and drug products. Ma'am, welcome to our today's conversation, and thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you so much for having me over here today.
So my first question to you is, what are your insights on the impact of technological advancements such as artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning on drug discovery and development?
So these technologies are playing a significant role these days, both in drug discovery and development. So when we talk of drug discovery, the conventional way approach adopted is to do a trial and error with a lot of potential candidates, the drug screening process, which involves a lot of time because it's a manual process. Artificial intelligence and ML platform offer data mining capabilities. So the same work which is done by researchers for several years can be done very efficiently in a short interval of time. And that can aid researchers in, targeting on potential candidates which can be taken forward for further studies. So that way, AI and ML platforms can help significantly, not only during this drug discovery, but also during preclinical and clinical trials. These platforms can provide a lot of information with respect to the drug safety, monitoring of the outcomes of the clinical trials, and also assimilating and interpreting the data from these studies, like say, for example, patient responses. So that can be achieved pretty quickly. And that's why these techniques are not only helping in speed to the market, but also help in reducing costs of development or bringing a drug molecule, into the market. So it reduces the cost also significantly. And apart from industry, I think even regulators can use these techniques. We have seen the era of emergency use authorizations during the pandemic, where the approvals have happened, and that's how we also see a draft guidance from FDA that was issued last year in 2023. So definitely, these techniques can help in prioritizing potential candidates. And they become more significant when we are talking of immunocompromised conditions like treatment of cancers, where we look at various complex therapeutics like monoclonal antibodies, recombinant proteins. We have cell and gene therapies. So when we work with such kind of complex molecules, it is very important to use AI and ML platforms which help us in understanding the structure of the complex moieties, the drug target interactions, and help in easy and fast reach of molecules to the market.
My another question is related to technology again, but related to the manufacturing and and quality consistency. So how do you think these technologies can help in that area?
So technology has always been a part of drug manufacturing and quality paradigms. We have seen technology and automation in the laboratory for past many more decades, but what is significant in today's time is that technology, lab informatics, technology in the form of lab informatics have made significant inroads into the analytical laboratory. And that's how today we talk of a digital laboratory. So apart from the technical aspects, even the unit workflows and unit operations of a laboratory can now be digitalized, and it's offering a lot of advantages with respect to unattended operations and also minimizing or reducing errors which lead to incidents and deviations, and then again become an issue with respect to compliance. Apart from that, even regulators are more interested in trying to understand how are you dealing with data in a laboratory. So how is data acquired and how it is being managed throughout the product life cycle. So technology is playing a very important role when it comes to laboratory functions. Talking about manufacturing operations, well, automation is the order of the day. So we are seeing a robotic process automation also. And again, as we were discussing about complex therapies, complex molecules, the manufacturing processes are not that simple. So it requires a lot of precise control of the several unit operations, and that's where robotic process automation is helping manufacturers. We are also seeing a trend from batch manufacturing to continuous manufacturing happening. And when we talk of continuous manufacturing, it is important to have an understanding of in situ process controls. And that is what we call as process analytical technology, PAT tools. And I remember last year at Anacon, that topic was assigned to me, how to increase productivity using PAT tools. So these tools are being used extensively, and it also helps in compliance from the perspective that instead of withdrawing samples and taking them offline to the lab for testing while the process goes ahead, you are online monitoring the parameters. And it's called as just-in-time check, from the Six Sigma body of knowledge. So whatever failures or defects are there, we can be monitored during the process itself, rather than waiting for everything to finish and then the sample goes to the lab. And then at the time of QC testing, we come to know that whether it has to be accepted or rejected. And then the entire process of incidents, deviations, OOS, and all these things start popping up. And again, these lead to compliance issues. So I think technology has a significant role to play in manufacturing operations. And apart from this, we have also seen the era of remote inspections. So even the regulators are using technology for conducting assessments of manufacturing facilities. So definitely, technology is here to stay and play a very important role.
Nicely said, ma'am. And we are glad to be having you at Analytica Anacon India and India Lab Expo in Mumbai. And this time you'll be moderating a session on regulatory compliances in pharma technical operations. Ma'am, if you could throw light on the impacts of emerging global trends on Indian pharma regulations in the near future.
That's an interesting question. Thanks for asking that question. I think the impact, we are already seeing it. According to me, we are already seeing the impact of the global regulatory trend in the Indian scenario. Two examples I would like to cite is the official book of drug standards in India, which is the Indian Pharmacopoeia. We've seen that it has now started emerging in the global regulatory marketplace with significant milestones. Back in 2022, we saw that IPC was granted a pilot membership of the PDG, the Pharmacopoeia Discussion Group, comprising the EU, Japan, and US. And last year, they were granted permanent membership of the PDG. Now, what is the impact? The impact is that the quality standards are being harmonized, and some of these harmonized standards have already made their way into Addendum 2024 of IP 2022, which is available now and which will be effective sometime in July 2024. On the other hand, we are also seeing a global outreach of our drug quality standards vis-a-vis the official recognition of IP across almost 6 emerging nations, emerging economies, and it is officially recognized now in 6 countries. So I think that is something which is a significant milestone, both that we are upgrading our standards, and on the other hand, we are also sharing our know-how and the upgraded standards with other economies. On the second front, I think the revised schedule, and we saw that it became effective earlier this year and is under implementation. So I think that itself speaks volumes about the way we are upgrading and aligning ourselves with the international global regulatory expectation. The revised schedule and talks of significant concepts like quality risk management, QMS tools, OOS. And one thing interesting that we see now is that even phytopharmaceuticals are being included both in Schedule M and in the Indian Pharmacopoeia. We also see inclusion of chapters related to biologicals being a part of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. So things are changing. We are in a transformation phase. It's the beginning. And this is the impact of the global trend. And I think as we move forward, we'll see more changes and more reforms. So what's important is effective change management and continuous improvement. And technology plays a very important role here also, because this has opened up numerous e-learning options also. So when we talk of change management and when we talk of continuous improvisation, we need to improvise our knowledge levels also. And I think technology has opened up numerous e-learning options, which I think is a very welcome move. So that's how we stand with respect to the global trends. And another aspect that we need to consider is that many of the international regulators have come together to form the generic drug cluster. Now, that is something which will definitely impact us, because we are the supplier of generic medicines to most parts of the world. And what happens within the generic drug cluster is it makes the business process easier in terms of the fact that if a country A of the GDC is a country where a product has already been approved, and if there is a country B also a part of the GDC where a firm is applying for an approval, then the approval process becomes easier because there's knowledge sharing happening between the regulators. Regulators have MRAs and MOUs signed, for sharing of information. And on the other hand, if there are non-compliances, even they are being shared. So that is something which needs to be understood.
You've been visiting Analytica Anacon India and India Lab Expo for quite some time. If you could throw light on why the platform is important for the industry, for the pharma industry specifically, to visit this exhibition, this expo, and why is it important for them to come and see the technologies here and find out solutions for analytical solutions or laboratory solutions? If you could throw some light on that end.
Yes, sure. So I have seen the evolution of Analytica Anacon right from when it used to be a small exhibit of a handful of instrument suppliers to the grand scale at which it has been conducted at the BEC Mumbai grounds. And what I would like to add is that why should people come over here? Definitely, it's a platform for laboratory shopping. You have instruments and consumables and lab informatics, everything under one roof. The first point is it's the only one of its kind of lab expo happening in Mumbai. So definitely it's a place where, a one-day visit can provide a lot of information to companies or to manufacturers with respect to what all is the latest development in the sector of lab equipments. And the second thing is that apart from this, I think what requires attention is that it's not just somewhere where you go and have a round and buy your information about your instruments, but it's also a platform where I think professionals can engage and interact and network with subject matter experts and with very senior professionals from the industry. And that is the technical sessions of the Anacon. So that is something which requires attention. So it's not just a forum for a lab exhibition, but it is also an equally important forum for knowledge gaining, for knowledge sharing, for networking, and also to connect with subject matter experts. And this year, when we get together at Anacon on 17th of April, there are going to be subject matter experts from across the country traveling to be a part of this panel, and they are from diverse segments of pharmaceutical operations. So I think it will be a good opportunity for not only for me, but for everybody to, interact, engage, and learn their shared experiences, and also to involve in a very interactive Q&A with the panel members.
And thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your time today and sharing with us your insights. And all the best for your session at Analytica Anacon India and India Lab Expo in Mumbai.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to meeting each one of you.